have to get my props. Just give me a sec. Okay, now my first prop that I brought was this thing. This is for the AV guys, because I always revise my script at the last minute, and I think I might not have put in a slide change into my script. So if I do this, please advance the slide. I learned this from Edwina Aaron, but I'm not going to whip it out anywhere. Okay. I've got stuff all over. You should see my room upstairs if you think this is bad. Well, if I had known that Ruth Ann and Barbara were going to speak for a little while, I wouldn't have written a 45-minute speech. Page 1. Really, before I begin, I just want to go into just a moment of prayer. I want to thank my sponsor, Camille Rodocchio, who has since passed the earth. I want to thank Jean Cushing, who gave me my first state leadership responsibility and brought me out of my chapter into Alpha Delta Kappa leadership. And I want to thank my mom, who passed last October, but who every time I went to an Alpha Delta Kappa function and when she came with me said, "This is an organization that you have to stay with." She loved the women of Alpha Delta Kappa, and I dearly, dearly loved my mother. So I thank those 3 people for bringing me here today, because without them, I don't think I would be here. I want to thank you for this tremendous honor. To represent you as your Alpha Delta Kappa International President is just beyond any wild thoughts that I might ever have had. I've had many encouragers along the way who nudged me, mentors who stood by me, and great leaders to emulate, like those of the past biennium. Risk-taking and idea development were hallmarks of our meetings, and support and acceptance were the norm. I thank them, my teachers, my sisters. I've served in many offices over the past 30 years, none of which would have been manageable without the support of my husband, who babysat, shopped, went to the bank when I was treasurer, and kept gas in the car so I could attend state meetings without having to sit on the side of the road to wait for AAA. He's been my constant supporter, and if ever men were allowed to hold office, he would be listed as my co-officer each biennium. John, would you please stand? I never tell him how much I appreciate him because I'm always so mad at him. You know how it is, girls. Just a minute. There's something in there. Well, anyway, it's my husband, John. He stayed home with my girls as I left for my first regional conference. My girls were covered in chicken pox. And when I look back, I think maybe I missed something. Maybe I should have stayed home with them. But then I think, nah, not really. You know, he just would have gone golfing, and I'd have been stuck home with 2 kids with chicken pox. That wasn't in the script, I'm sorry. But I do thank you, John, for making my work in Alpha Delta Kappa manageable. And you gave me time to serve, and you were always willing to let me accept any office that I offered for. I thank my daughters, Margaret and Rachel's husband, Nathan, for being here tonight to share this special evening. Margaret and Rachel were Alpha Delta Kappa babies. Now, Margaret is also my sister. She was concerned a couple of weeks ago. After our chapter meeting, she sent me a message. OMG, I forgot to bring the plant for the new member. I'm so fired. I wrote back and said, honey, this is Alpha Delta Kappa. You'll never be fired. Trust me, I've tried. Kidding. Rachel was born on Cinco de Mayo. Oh, it's gone. I won't use it. She was born on Cinco de Mayo, which is a great day for a birthday if you're not the child of a Connecticut sister, where they hold their state convention on the first weekend of May in every year. Rachel's birthday celebration has always taken a back seat to Connecticut's state convention. Rachel never really complained much. Yes, it does say that. Rachel is a high school choral director working on her master's right now, and we've talked about establishing a chapter in her area of Massachusetts when she finishes her studies. Go Connie! I'm sure Nathan will be there ready to support her as my husband did me, and now I'm telling you, you have to do that because all these people, they're witnesses, and you're smiling, so that's a yes. But I want to thank my family for being here tonight. Alpha Delta Kappa was our founder's germ of an idea. The time was right, and there was energy in the room when they put their heads together to create this organization. And when they did,
universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall, we built the pyramids, math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a big bang.
these guys. Agnes, along with Hattie, Marie, and Marion, triggered our Big Bang. And since that time, 70 years ago, we've been energized by altruism, by the opportunity to become something more, and by our power to make a difference in the world. When we joined Alpha Delta Kappa, the world became new again. It was our personal genesis. Light dawned on Alpha Delta Kappa in 1947, and today we continue to imagine what we can become as we move into our 71st year as an organization. Recently, I listened to a webinar by Sarah Sladek, who works to help organizations thrive and prosper in the new economy. She distinguished between my generation and today's talent generation. My generation of the industrial era focused on assembly lines, the American dream, a car in every garage, a chicken in every pot, one right way to do things. Today's talent generation thinks outside the box and looks for work in environments beyond the traditional. They are the millennials, collaborative, innovative, mobile, full of ideas and information. They have a universe of data at their fingertips. They have never known a world without technology, and they avoid membership in organizations. They're disengaged from society. And that's why Alpha Delta Kappa is so important. The world needs organizations like Alpha Delta Kappa. Our generation criticizes the talent generation. They have no sense of loyalty and no work ethic. They don't plan for the future. They want constant feedback on everything they do. They want everything online. They're demanding, annoying, and lazy, and they aren't reliable. Well, these are my two kids. But doesn't every generation say that about the next generation? Well, we're not so perfect, and they're not so imperfect. But how do we work with that new mindset? Google creator Larry Page engages a distinctive management strategy. In a nutshell, he just gets out of the way if everything is working. When a problem appears, that's when he steps in to support. We have to develop new mindsets for engaging the next generation of educators. Membership decline is epidemic. I was getting ready to wave my beads, so I lost my word from my paper. Not just in Alpha Delta Kappa, though, in every organization, and you can see some of the symbols at the bottom of that slide. We should be concerned that 64% of today's workforce would prefer to join an organization formed by millennials. They're not into legacy organizations. If we are to survive, we have to address the wants and needs of current teachers. We have to appeal to millennials. They are our future. This next generation brings great talents, collaboration, innovation, and access to the world of data. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't need to fear millennials or to avoid them. We need to embrace them. We need to learn from them. And in the process, we can share what we've learned from our many years of experience. We can become an organization that appeals to multiple generations if we concentrate on all members of Alpha Delta Kappa and on the next generation of teachers. We have to listen to our members of all ages and work to provide for their needs. We have to look to the future to see what the teaching force wants and requires from an organization. We have to consider current teachers while preparing for future teachers. This is where I didn't put in the thing. Thank you. It's a two-way support system. We need them, and they need us. Reverse mentoring will become the norm. I apologize for this. When I was at my wit's end with my new Prius, I resorted to calling in my 11-year-old nephew, great-nephew, to sync my cell phone with the Bluetooth connection in my car. And I'm not sure I even just used the right words to say what happened, but I do know that my phone rings in my car now and I can talk to you while I'm driving. This is reverse mentoring. We can learn from the younger generation. When we acknowledge how much millennials have to offer and tap into their talents, we give them a sense of purpose in Alpha Delta Kappa that they don't even realize they need. A place to contribute and feel good about doing for others. A place to grow professionally. A place to network, to share, and to build relationships. Oh, bless you. And one day they will proudly say, as we do, this organization has changed the world, and it has changed me. That's what membership in Alpha Delta Kappa does. It changes people who change the world. Professional excellence, world understanding, and altruism will never go out of style. Alpha Delta Kappa can become the signature organization for professional excellence and leadership development. We can lead people to global awareness, engaging in projects that instill a sense of pride. We can grow our organization into one that addresses the needs of members, no matter what generation they represent. To do this, we have to burn energy. It's the Big Bang. Our new theme focuses on taking potential energy and using it to accomplish something worthwhile. Members with energy, radiating in every direction. Teachers waiting to be recruited. Potential energy. Our new theme points to the future, all that we can do and all that we can become. Today and tomorrow are full of opportunity. Everything under the sun is an opportunity. Improving the world around us, improving ourselves, and providing teachers an organization important to their professional and personal lives, those are opportunities. Our new theme points to the differences we make every day, our power to change the world, the changes we've already made, and the changes we're about to make. Our impact on the world has inspired thousands before us, and it will inspire thousands to come. Our theme for the new biennium links our collective energy, the endless opportunities we have to affect change, and the impact we have on the world. To survive, we have to engage all age groups, tap all talents, look to the future to provide for the needs of a changing workforce, and burn some energy. Our theme is one of rebirth, the Big Bang, our second Genesis. We must go forth, be fruitful, and multiply if we are to endure. So let's move forward to change the world. We are Alpha Delta Kappa, energy, opportunity, impact. This is our theme for the next biennium, and this is where we will focus our work on making a difference in the world. I hope to see you all at the regionals all over the country next year, and at our convention in Minneapolis in 2019. Till then, good night, thank you, I love you.